Good morning and welcome to Better Thyself segment of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. 2000, 2020. I wanted to say 2020, but then 2020 has been a bad experience. And that has left us, most of us, in a state of stupor, in a state of shock. We are, as a matter of fact, nonplussed because our minds have been hijacked and we are not sure of the expectations in this year, the new year. What to do? Should we go forward and celebrate as a new year? But the situation is not becoming normal. A lot of queries and a state of hazy confusion exists. So, what should you do? You should learn from your past and adapt accordingly. And to better thyself, you have got to do that. But most important, you have got to think and do today what will define your tomorrow. There is a silver lining, and the silver lining is the hope that is germinated in this chaos. You don't know, this whole universe was created out of chaos, confusion, chaos. It always gives birth to innovative concepts. The French Revolution, chaotic conditions brought forth the concept of democracy and freedom in actual terms. So, if you want to be a better human being, there are 10 lessons which you have got to understand from Corona of last year and make yourself better human being. First thing you have got to do is to love uncertainty. Anything can happen any moment. Many people get into a state of devastating depression. And it happened, as I have discussed many times, the mental depression. The reason was that they could not accept such a harsh reality of life. So, it is better for you to be mentally prepared to face even worse situations. Just imagine if this war transmission had been through air or water, and the reports are coming now that the earlier concept of social distancing is wrong, and according to the scientists, it can be transmitted through the air. You breathe, and no mask, no social distancing can prevent you. So life has to become more challenging. And the challenges you've got to accept because they make you a better human being. The next pandemic might not take 100 years to knock on your doors. It may hit you any moment. So be prepared, and not only uncertainty about a pandemic, uncertainty about life, uncertainty about employment, about business, about relationship. So it makes sense to be prepared for any eventuality. That's the first thing if you want to better thyself. Second, resilience, flexibility. That's a secret. We have seen how the economy has floundered. We have seen how the unemployment has increased. There has been a massive dent in the economy, and Corona did not spare those who had a rigid approach, but the flexible people who adapted. I remember I was in Mumbai when Corona started, and it was a Friday, and Saturday was half working day. And I just had a hunch that why do I call these people? I was advising a startup, and I had a hunch that why are we calling these people on Saturday? In this time, because Corona had started making appearance, there was no lockdown. So I told them, look here, don't come tomorrow, and better call on Monday before you come. Because if there's not much work, I don't want you to come all the way. And people were coming from Dahisar, and that's almost 150 kilometers every day. And would you believe the same evening, the Prime Minister ordered the lockdown? So you have got to be flexible. My flexibility enabled me not to close down the office as per the directive of the government, but to take initiative and be flexible in my approach. The rigid approach of no, you must come was not a problem. And that's a winning sale. I know another thing. I know of a travel agency owner who immediately shifted his business portfolio and became a sanitizer manufacturer. I know still another person, an auto rickshaw driver. He converted his auto rickshaw into a vegetable cart. So these are the real life stories. If you are resilient and you are flexible in your approach, you are successful. So to be a better human being, learn to be successful. And don't forget, being flexible is the secret to survival. The most resilient is steel, and that's why steel is strong. People think rubber is more flexible. No, steel is much more flexible. Then learn saving. Save not for the rainy day, but for the virus day. If you had not saved and you get a job, don't get a job, you're thrown out, what do? The poor cash flow has afflicted many, so learn to be frugal. And not only frugal in money, but frugal in the use of nature. We have been spendthrift, we have destroyed nature, we have destroyed biodiversity. Learn impulse buying is no longer the end thing. Learn impulse wasting is again to be avoided. So that should be a third way you can bettermize yourself. And then now most important, let your eyes laugh. I've seen people laugh, and that's an empty laughter. I remember I was going to Walmart and there was a girl cashier. She took my stuff and I said, look here, you are laugh smiling with your eyes. And can you believe her whole face started shining like a sun on the rainy day? Your facial expression have a significant impact in the effectiveness of your communication. With three-fourths of your face being covered with a mask, what is left? Nobody is going to see the twitch of your lips, the contours of your chin, but the eyes are going to be seen by everybody. So learn and train your eyes to laugh. Let them become more expressive. It's high time that you learn the art of speaking through your eyes. Let them laugh and let them frown. Yes, but then they must communicate. So, this is the major lesson you have learned, that your eyes should be a better means of communication than your sound, than your lips, than your throat, than your vocal cords. Another thing which you must have learned and which you can implement to be a better human being, mask your criticism. COVID has made you see the end of life from very close proximity. And a lesson that is revisited is the fact that where there is life, there has to be death. That's accepted fact. The ultimate and final destination for all of us the same. Then why carping criticism? Why get into unnecessary argument on non-issues? So first things, learn to separate grain from the chaff. Learn to separate the non-issues from the major important issues. Learn to differentiate between important and unimportant. And more important still, between urgent and important. So let the unnecessary arguments not be their own non-issues. It's worthwhile to avoid carping criticism. If it's constructive and useful, definitely, but then mask it with a different tone. And the next thing you should do this year to be a better human being, be technology wise. It's an online world today. It's a virtual world. Work from home was the most talked about topics last year and still continues to be there. It makes sense to invest in technology and get updated with the latest. Recently essential is to upgrade your technical know-how. Ignorance of the new age technology is no more acceptable. And to be a social being and to be abreast of the latest situation, you have got to be technology friendly. And that is especially important for the seniors. And also for the children, let them be accustomed to technology. Then, most important, if you really want to be a better human being, let your roots be strong. If your roots are strong, the whole life is strong. Roots sustain you. So grow from home. Home is where you live it. It's a place where you grow professionally, socially, personally. Digitization has made it easier for the tiniest scale entrepreneur to grow from home. I know a girl who started selling homemade food through an app. She earned handsomely. So it's time to grow socially, economically from home. If you can think about it, you can make success happen anywhere. And here, home is your base. You're saving your overhead expenses and quarantine yourself. In the previous year, I have quarantined twice. Once when I came back from Mumbai, and then when the lockdown was there. And it was difficult, but it was not something killing. Maybe it is detoxifying phase. And now this is a lesson. Learn to indulge in self-isolation at regular intervals. It's like going to forest in the humdrum of life and being cut away. And when you are self-isolating, this will allow you to look inside. Living with yourself will make you understand yourself better. And it would rejuvenate you not only physically but also mentally. And the next thing is be creative and innovative. I remember a friend saying mathematics teacher in schools taught us many formulas. But the best formula or the best learning for math is that every problem has a solution, provided you have an eye to find it. Also adopting the Buddhist attitude of this too shall pass away would enable you to cut off from the binds of strings and you can be creative and innovative. People who are innovative and creative are more hopeful and they are able to tide over all difficulties. It brings you a new perspective and you win the obstacle race. And then, most important, which I have been suggesting time and again, nature first. You must have observed during the phase of lockdown that the water and air pollution was less. Reduction in human activities has led to a better health ecosystem. So why not maintain it even after the lockdowns are over, even after the curfews are over, even after corona is a tale told by people which signifies something? You can be in tune with nature for a better understanding of life. Nature's economic health gets severely impacted. And now, do you know that some doctors were telling me that in the corona period, in the lockdown period, there has been a drastic decrease in the cases of eye, heart, and lung related diseases. This is because you are more in tune with nature and you are cut off from the humdrum of life. So be a human being rather than an earning machine. Sometimes we wrongly link human health with economic well being of the planet. That is wrong. That anomaly has to be corrected. Your economic activity must be reoriented to preserve nature and rather to connect with nature. That should be the top goal. You be a part of the nature. And if you are a part of the nature, believe me, you'll be a better human being. And this is what you do. Your resolution this year should revolve around these things, which you can do positively, and emerge like a butterfly out of cocoon, a better human being, a Homo sapien, and not a two-legged animal. Thank you.